Well, pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to TV 17 Outdoors. I'm Larry Brassfield here with Kevin Hanrahan, a longtime friend and good friend who's passionate about high school football, and on a Saturday afternoon, what else could you ask for?
I tell you what, the weather is perfect, and it's a great day. Let's get it going.
Yeah, so we're looking at the number one Montini seed, 10-0. Kaneland's coming in 7-3, but what about the history of these programs?
Well, I mean, for sure, Montini, great history. Last 6 years, made it to the state championship in 5A. We're going to find out what they can do in 6A this year with the success multiplier.
Yeah, and they've met in the semifinals a few times. This is actually the fourth meeting, and Montini has won all three coming into this matchup today.
If you're having problems with your car or truck, take it to the professionals at Midwest Quick Lube in Sugar Grove. For over 20 years, Midwest has been the place to take your vehicle for everything from oil changes, engine and air conditioning repair, brake work, as well as fixing flats and tire rotation. Midwest uses only the best products and supplies to service your vehicle and to get it back on the road safely. They're conveniently located 1 block north of the Fireside Grill on Main Street in Sugar Grove. Stop in anytime or call ahead at 630-466-9644.
Looking for endless potential in one machine? The Kubota BX series is America's best-selling subcompact tractor. It's the one machine that can take on nearly any outdoor project. Now with Kubota's Orange Plus program, get customer instant rebates up to $1,300 when you buy a new BX70 and 2 implements. Take advantage of Orange Plus during our Power to Do Great Things sales event. Now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years.
There's a strong wind coming out of the west. We're kicking off here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but other than that, you could not ask for a better day for football. Jake Marchuk, the senior quarterback for the Knights, the familiar spread offense. Short roll to the right, dumps it off. That's Mitch Green, upended.
Yeah, nice tackle for about a 2-yard gain there. Very, very good defense.
Number 6, Jake Kapp on the stop, and look at this, the Knights quickly to the line, no huddle, familiar empty backfield. Trips left. We fake the jet sweep and give to Allstott. And yes, you heard me right on the name, guys, Allstott. He is the nephew of the
Mike Allstott.
Mike Allstott.
Ex-Buccaneer, ex-Joliet Catholic fame.
Not often you see a freshman moved up to start at the varsity level, especially in that position.
And a little jump on a defensive line. Looks like we're going to make it a little closer for the third down.
Yeah, long 3rd and 8. Now it becomes a very manageable 3rd and 3.
Looks like no change in the call, though. They're going with what they called originally.
They often audible off their wristbands and at the line, so that's no issue for them. Marchuk will stay in the pocket over the middle, complete to Green, picks up the first down.
First down underneath, very nice call on 3rd and short.
Couple familiar receivers to be looking on the Knights, primarily number 3, Tanner Robertson, and then also number 22, Mitch Green, as you just saw there. Marchuk looking left, again to Green. Boy, they're just picking it up in little chunks there.
Yeah, they sure are, Larry. Moving on Montini. The Montini Broncos have a great defense, very fast, but seem to be picking up some decent yardage on them in the early stages here.
I wish the programs had sizes. They don't, but oh my, number 79 in the middle of the defensive line.
You're looking at the reason why I think they're throwing the short passes underneath. You run two times on the ground and you get, virtually no yards or loss of yards on both. So maybe look for them, look for a continuation of the short passes underneath.
So with Montini, is that a 3-man front, Brian?
Yeah, they typically go with a 3-man front, but they will switch it up and rush some backers and some DBs too, like right there.
Bringing the house they are. And that was Tanner Robertson, who I had just mentioned, on a little fade, falling incomplete.
Yeah, Montini brought everybody up. It was man for man, one-on-one, and they brought guys up to the line. If he holds on to that pass, it's a great first down.
Well, right, and as they came to the line, there was not a defender more than 2 yards off the ball. Now Marchuk is the punter for the Knights, and it makes it tough for the defense. Lines up in a short punt formation. Knuckleball into the wind. Will only get to the 34-yard line, so the Broncos defense holds, and they will have good field position.
Yep, starting at the 38. Again, this is an offense with a lot of team speed.
Now, one thing that was interesting for me as I did my pregame prep, I saw Montini has a plus 31 ratio in the turnovers. Quarterback Justin Blake, no interceptions all year long. That's practically unheard of.
You never hear of that, and he's very fast.
And as you say that, the Bronco fans are knocking on wood. We don't want to see one turn right now. So.
A shotgun formation of their own is really a standard in high school football anymore. Appears to be audibling at the line as the back shifts from left to right. Read option give. The Prince.
And he delivers with a first down on the first carry of the game.
Be careful with that guy. It could be a maroon rain from Prince.
It's got to be fun to run behind a line that opens up holes like that.
Oh, yeah. They are some big fellas up there, strong, too.
Little quad bunch in the formation here. Let's see if they go to the air.
And they do. Falling incomplete. Dylan Maher, the intended receiver. And a real quick tempo with the play calling, I'm noticing, Kevin.
Yeah, both teams with the with the no huddle and calling the audibles at the line. So.
But it also keeps the defense from really having time or ability to substitute.
Absolutely.
Lead option left. Blake keeps up the middle through to the secondary. All the way down to the 30-yard line. You see some explosiveness there.
Yeah, you see when you have a back as good as Prince Phillip, he's gonna draw a lot of attention, and you get that read option, and you pull it in, you pull it out, and you can get some yards for Blake. So.
So the Broncos really on the march from the Knight 30 with time to the left side, complete. Will be first and goal for the Broncos. He had all kinds of time to throw there.
Plenty of time and a precision pass right on the mark there at around the 10.
That's a good point, Brian, because as Blake he started his delivery on that ball before the receiver had even made his break.
Yeah, the sun was right in his eye on that one coming into him, too. It's a tough catch.
Prince, touchdown! What an impressive opening drive for the Bronco offense.
Yeah, they marched down, they threw the ball, they ran the ball effectively both ways. We'll see if Kaneland can come back and match that effort.
Couple different runs, real nice decisions by Blake in the read option, and Prince was out last week. He sure looks 100% here today.
Yeah, he looks like he's clicking on all cylinders today. He's a fast kid. It's like they suited up the whole school down there, huh?
Yeah, there's a few double numbers on the roster, and I'm going to defer to the elder classmen when it comes to that. Point after is good. Broncos 7, Knights 0. Back after this here on TV 17.
For more than 30 years, locally owned Kierhofer Sports has been the primary supplier of sports equipment for schools, teams, clubs, and organizations throughout northern Illinois. Both team and retail customers can browse around Kierhofer Sports' 5,000 square foot store on Aurora's west side to choose among dozens of selections of popular team and sporting apparel. There's always a wide selection of pro sports jerseys and hats, high school sweatshirts, shoes for any athletic event, and just about any sporting equipment you need, including a new rewards program. Kierhofer Sports has the items you need for gifts, the big game, or to root for your favorite team. For more information, check us out on Facebook.
The next time you go out, meet your friends at the Blackberry Bar and Grill on Route 47 and Main Street in Elburn. Enjoy our great Reuben sandwiches or fill up on one of our big belly buster burgers. We have daily food specials, a full-service bar, a great outdoor patio, and you can try your luck on our video slots and poker machines. Call us at 630-365-9740 or visit us on Facebook. And don't forget, we have a kids menu too.
Welcome back, high school football fans. TV 17 Outdoors, your home for high school football. Second round playoff action. The Montini Broncos marched over 65 yards in very impressive fashion after stopping the Knights' opening drive. And again, another long kick will give the Knights a long field.
Yeah, and you can see that on the punt that Kaneland made against the wind. The ball was knocked down almost immediately. So you want to be kicking from the west here today, for sure.
It is a beautiful, crisp, sunny afternoon, but there's a good, I'm thinking a 20, 25 mile an hour wind that will be a factor, as it's already showing. Marchuk stays in the pocket and overthrows Allstott on the far side. Looked like either a little indecision or miscommunication there.
Yeah, it appears that way.
I like the trips down here against that last defense Montini was running. You had 3-on-2 on a short pass, so.
Trips left, slot right, bubble screen, which is a staple of the Knights offense, falls incomplete.
And that did look like a little miscommunication there.
So the Knights quickly looking at 3rd and 10 into the wind, almost as if they're swimming upstream. Stay with that same offensive formation. Marchuk with time, over the middle, intercepted, and upended at the 30.
Yeah, nice play by
Luke Bukowski.
He stepped in front of that. And the Broncos are on the march again, inside, well inside Kaneland territory.
Well, I'll tell you about the weather today. With it being that kind of crisp, nice day, it's what you look for as a football player. This is the kind of day you want, but right off the bat, it's favoring the Broncos here because Kaneland's been going into the wind and the sun right in their eyes.
And you just feel that old friend of momentum 100% on the Broncos side of the ball here so far.
Comes the blitz.
Read option off the right tackle, bounces outside, down to the sideline, inside the 10 and the 5. Oh my!
Yeah, it looked like the blitz came from the side the play went to, and he just got caught inside. And once he got outside, there was no one to stop him.
Brian, he bounced that out quick.
Yeah, he did. He's just got such good speed to be able to get around and bounce out like that. Amazing, and strong kid too.
He had it in high gear like that. First and goal from the 4. The Prince again, and why not?
Yeah, I'd be surprised you see the ball go up in the air right now.
Great push by the O-line, Brian, there. It's harkening back to Augustana days, that was a Bob Reed credo, the pile falls forward.
Yes, that was the way Bob ran it. He was one of a kind, that coach. Precision and timing were everything with him.
And simplistic, too. You're on offense, the pile falls forward. On defense, it falls backwards. You do that, you win. Pop pass. Initial ruling on the field, touchdown, but then dropped.
Long enough on that one. Kind of reminiscent of the Kelvin Johnson play with the Detroit Lions a few years ago against the Bears.
Boy, quick to the call he was. There's no review in high school?
No replay. The Jumbotron is down for today.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I said the ball would not go in the air. It does, and it does for 7, so.
Bing, bang, boom, just like that. Broncos by 14.
Hi, I'm Dave Weiss, your Allstate insurance agent in Sugar Grove.
For all of your insurance questions, stop in the Allstate office on Route 47 and Cross Street in Sugar Grove. Agent David Weiss can review your auto, home, life, or business insurance needs. Call 630-466-7835 for more information. Remember, with Allstate, you're in good hands every day.
Stop by or call anytime. We're located at the corner of Route 47 and Cross Street in Sugar Grove.
Welcome back to beautiful Lombard, Illinois, home of the Montini Catholic High School Broncos, who have scored both times they've had the ball and lead by 14.
Turnovers kill, huh?
And we were talking earlier in the game, plus 31 coming in. Yeah, and they converted right there. I always talk about factors in high school football, and turnovers are usually number one. Knights come out, fake the jet sweep. Marchuk keeps it.
No gain, maybe one.
Well, and Marchuk comes into the game as the Knights' leading rusher, almost 900 yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground for Marchuk. 3-year starter coming in.
Trips right, let's see if they go back to the air.
Fake the give to Allstott. The ball is tipped and intercepted by the biggest guy on the field.
Yes, that big fella grabbed it right out of the air with his big paws. Wow.
Monte! Boy! Oh, Monte!
Good coordination for a big guy like that.
The ball was bad and he comes down with it. You'd say he had the full Monte.
Yes, he did. It was there for the grabbing in the air, and he sure grabbed it.
But listen and feel the hometown ignite. We're just talking about turnovers.
Yeah, you see it, and, you know, with just under 7 minutes in the first quarter, Montini deep in Kaneland territory again.
Going for the throat, they'll put it in the air. No, he's going to run it. Picks up a few off the left side.
Great lateral movement by the quarterback, Blake. He's just got some quick feet.
You got to like the PA guy going to Terrible Ted on the interception.
And we're back to quad on EO.
Give to Prince. Will bring up 3rd and short. And I would think they're in 4-down territory the way this line is pushing.
Another blitz on there by Kaneland.
Well, and that's, you know, over the years, Kaneland Knights football games for the last 10 years, they rely heavily on the blitz, which is great when it works, but dangerous when it doesn't. Blake to the air, picks up the first down. Another little quick timing route.
Yeah, precision is the name of the game with Coach Andriano's offense. He big believer in passing game, and they do it really well.
So you've played with two storied coaches and two storied programs. How would you compare and contrast the two?
Well, Coach Reed was very quiet man. Didn't say much, and for a little guy, he was a little intimidating. And Coach Andriano, he got in your face. He made sure you know what was going on and where you stood on the field, and play your butt off, and you'll get rewarded with playing time.
So you sound about as different as they possibly could have been.
Yes, very different ends of the spectrum.
It's interesting. No, we'll come back to that.
On first down there, Larry, the blitz seems to help you. Kaneland made a nice stop behind the backfield.
Nice read by Blake there. Makes a couple guys miss. Still on his feet. He dives. Touchdown, Broncos. What a run.
Looks like the Kaneland team really needs to get out of this first quarter, change of field position, which way they're going, before they get too far back.
So one of my favorite things to do with high school football broadcasts is you liken a high school athlete to a professional, and right there, he looked like Cam Newton to me.
He did, or Jay Cutler last week when he ran the guy over at the goal line.
Well, this was more of an athletic. Give Cutler credit for the gutsy run and putting the head down.
Yes, but he definitely wanted it on that play. There was no way you were going to keep him out of the end zone on that play.
Incredibly athletic, and a 21-point lead for the Broncos. Back in a moment here on TV 17.
Hi, I'm Nick Bumba with Nick's Furniture in Sugar Grove. Here at Nick's, we have the best value, quality, and service in the furniture industry. Shop Nick's, save money. So come see me for the best deal in the furniture industry. Shop Nick's, save money. We're conveniently located in Sugar Grove across from Waubonsie Community College.
If you like pizza, TV 17 Coupons has some great deals. How about $20 worth of menu items from Pisano's Pizza in Elburn for $10, or a large cheese pizza with 3 toppings, a $20 value for $10 from Genoa's Pizza in Sugar Grove. Save money. Use TV 17 coupons.
Welcome, high school football fans. Second round of the 2015 State Championship Playoff Series. The Broncos have been very impressive, scoring every time they've scored the ball or had the ball, and in different ways.
And the Knights still haven't been able to get a chance to get outside that 20-yard line off their first play of the drive. Four touchbacks on the kickoffs with the win.
Field position being a huge factor, and you would think beautiful conditions, but Brian, you mentioned it, staring into the sun and going into a 25-mile-an-hour wind.
It's tough to get, out of the base here, just off the ground.
And my old friend Momentum is wearing a maroon jersey. Allstott working the left side, nowhere to go.
Loses 3. And I think that's why you see Kaneland throwing the ball so far, because every time they run, it's a no gain or even a loss of yardage. So
give credit again to the big guy, Monty Bay.
Oh yeah, he's a force out there.
Making his presence known. So the Knights are checking off the wristband to a different alternative. Tanner Robertson, the lone receiver here on the near side. Marchuk pressured and flush from the pocket, will run. Knocked out of bounds about the 23-yard line.
Great block by Allstott on that. Gave him a little bit of an area to get some yards. So.
And the Knights stay with the same formation. We had talked about the trips. A lot of times trips to one side and then Robertson to the other on his own, creating a one-on-one matchup. Marchuk will run and be short of the first down.
That should bring up a 4th and 3, but twice they pick up a few yards on that little waggle to the weak side. So.
Well, but given the elements, there's no hesitation for Kaneland to punt, I would think.
I guess they just have to, well, doesn't look like we have anyone back at Montini here, so they're going for it.
Well, they didn't need to drop anybody back. About a 4-yard punt. And Knights fans are wondering when anything will go their way.
Yeah, with the wind and the tight punt formation, he's got to get the ball up or he's going to kick it into his own players' backs. That ball didn't go anywhere.
Well, if forced to do that again, he may go with a rugby-style punt, but Montini actually had pretty good pressure on him. He had to get it up. He didn't have a whole lot of time to worry about his form. From the Knight 32. What a great place to start your 4th possession of the game. Blake up the middle. Looked like he had a option right pitch. Chose to keep it.
Safe play to pick up 3 on 1st down. Take that all day long.
Well, and he continues to just get real good push, tackle to tackle, as the Broncos are owning the line of scrimmage right now. Same play option left with the pitch. This time Prince has the corner, cuts it back all the way down, just outside of the 10. I think one of the most impressive things about that play, the left-handed pitch by the quarterback.
Yeah, very coordinated, and Walker just took that ball and made the most of it. He's a fast kid.
Don't think he's left-handed, but made it look second nature and was perfectly done. Option right, keeps. Little or no gain. Andrew Cray, the big senior for the Knights, off his tackle position there.
Gave him a nice hit. I don't know if I want to be running Blake and taking hits like that all day long.
So now the Broncos quickly to the line. Trips right, solo left. Single back.
Little encroachment on the blitz. Trying to time that blitz up. Gives Montini another 5.
That's a silly mistake, to put it nicely. It's he's coming and trying to time it, but to break the plane like that, it hurts.
Same formation here.
Slant pass here to the near side, reaching. Touchdown! Mitchell West. And for the second time, the receiver breaks the plane and then quickly loses possession. No second look. Touchdown.
And they give it to them both.
That's a touchdown. Can't see it perfectly from here, but the refs must have the best view to know that he had the ball in his full possession before he fumbled it past the line.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not second guessing. That is, of all the calls out there, those are potentially some of the toughest. And they've just had 2 of them. But they've not hesitated to signal touchdown.
Yeah, and I think on this one right here was a little bit easier of a call because the runner was coming in with the ball. So once he breaks the plane, it's a dead ball right there.
Hodges Westside Truck Center is the place to go if you need a work truck for your business. Hodges offers a wide variety of trucks to meet your needs. And we have 2 locations to serve you in Marengo and in Elburn. And that's where you can browse around and find the right truck for you. We also service what we sell. We have an excellent parts and customer service department, and we also have a complete workshop to make the repairs you need to keep your truck on the road. Our Elburn facility is located on Main Street, just east of Route 47, and in Marengo, you can find Westside Truck Center on Route 20 Grant Highway near I-90.
In the first quarter of play, the Montini Broncos have scored every which way but loose each of the 4 times they've had the ball and lead by 28. They are looking every bit the #1 seed coming in that they were vaunted to be.
Yeah, for sure. Montini's clicking on all cylinders. I think other than maybe 1 or 2 plays, every down's been inside of Kaneland territory.
Talking a little bit about the rich history here at Montini. 6 Class 5A state championship appearances.
The previous 6, to be exact.
They were working the bubble screen for Tanner Robertson there, and I don't mean to be harsh, but looked like he had a little bit of the alligator arm.
Yeah, the dropsies.
Well, I think that was just a little out of his reach, and he could have gone further for it. Unfortunately, falling incomplete, looking at 2nd and 10.
All right, well, with the run there, we should run down the first quarter, and at least they're going to change sides and have the sun and the wind in their favor.
Definitely. You want to maybe get past this first quarter, and then if they have to punt, they can't get the first down. At least they could kick into the wind, or with the wind.
I don't know if they'll get there. With this being 3rd and long, they are taking their time, however. This all stop shifts from the right to the left hip. Set up a screen, 2 all side here on the near side. Oh, Monty! And forgive me, I've had it all wrong. It's Monte.
Okay. The French pronunciation.
Looks like there's a timeout on the field, and we'll take one as well. Back in a moment.
A long weekend is just an excuse to get a long way from boring. With models up to 62 horsepower or room for 4. Go rugged, go big, go Gator.
Hi, I'm Dave Gieske from Buck Brothers in Hampshire. We have 3 other locations to serve you: Harvard, Wakanda, and Libertyville.
High school football fans, 34 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Brian, we were talking about why would you take a timeout at this point in the game?
Well, Coach Andriano is one of those that does not let up. He wants to get the game won and really push the envelope. Now, in this case, they stop the clock so that Kaneland will now have to kick into the wind still and into the sun.
And after a previous attempt, you could understand some hesitation, although this is a much better kick via the roll. Will be touched down right at the 30-yard line. But I think, we've talked about field position and the weather factors, a very good use of the timeout there, Kevin.
Yeah, what are you going to do with timeouts in the first half anyways? Most people just pack them in and bring them into the locker room with them. So to do that and force Kaneland to punt in adverse conditions is a smart thing.
So with that in mind, do you think he might actually choose to go to the air here while he still has the wind in his back?
For sure, it's a possibility, but I'm going to say on first down here, no, they're going to run the ball.
I think otherwise. And I am right. To the air they go. Up, he's going to tuck it and run. He's got the corner, gets a block, pushed out of bounds, and a flag comes down late. 15 yards will be added on.
And the question is whether Blake's hurt or not.
A little slow to get up, shaking his head, but I'm sure he will be fine. But I thought the defender did come in a little bit late. I wouldn't classify that as malicious, but I don't disagree with the flag.
No, I mean, you got to throw that flag. Player safety is number one. But yeah, it was not anything too violent on the out-of-bounds hit.
He ended up almost underneath the bench.
Yeah, he was basically to the goal line on the outside, so that's a full 4 or 5 yards past the 3 yards of the white area. So,
and look at, we were just talking about the wind and the field position impact here, and I thought that's why I said they may go to the air.
Yeah, you were right. I don't know that I want to be running my I don't want to be throwing the ball when you got a 4-touchdown lead in the first quarter. I'm gonna pack it in and keep it on the ground, keep it simple.
Yeah, that's my guess is what the Broncos will do here. And we're, yeah.
I don't know. I could see him going for the throat. Quick hitter off to the left side. Picks up almost 10. That's Tyler Milliken again.
The bubble screen for 9 yards.
And that will conclude the first quarter of play. The Broncos looking every bit of that #1 seed. Scoring every time they've touched it, leading by 28. We'll turn it around and bring you the second quarter after this. Here on TV 17.
Get ready for the fall hunting season by stopping in at JR Shooting Sports.
Stay warm when you're out on the hunt by choosing from a wide assortment of hunting apparel. JR also has a huge selection of guns for the hunt, as well as sports optics. And don't forget to stock up on ammunition because JR Shooting Sports is your fall hunting headquarters.
We're located on Oakhurst Drive in Aurora. And visit us on the web and on Facebook.
Here to open the second quarter action, quarterback Justin Blake leading the Montini Bronco offense that has been very impressive, scoring every time they've touched the ball here.
Give it to Prince up the middle. Picks up about 4, maybe 5.
Looks like we've got an injured Knight down. Is that Andrew Cray? I'm afraid that it is. We're going to take an injury timeout and hope he's okay. Back in a moment.
20 years, Peg's on Main Street in Maple Park has provided quality professional hair care for the entire family. Peg and her staff keep up on the latest fashion trends for adults and children. She also carries a wide variety of hair care products for your convenience. And when they're finished pampering your hair, you can walk over and browse around the fantastic on-site gift shop. Stop in anytime at Peg's on Main in downtown Maple Park or give them a call at 815-827-3051.
Andrew Cray, the senior leader tackle for the Knights, gingerly to the sideline. Do not think we will be seeing him again yet today. Let's hope he's okay. To reset, 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Prince with room to run into the secondary. Touchdown! Boy, he saw an opening, he weaved, and then he just knifed on through the D.
Yeah, he's like a water bug moving through there. He's so quick. Might remind us of Brad Price from our Augie days, Larry, the way he ran through it.
Great vision.
Great vision.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that the rest of the first half.
Five possessions, 5 touchdowns, and a 35-0 lead.
If you're having problems with your car or truck, take it to the professionals at Midwest Quick Lube in Sugar Grove. For over 20 years, Midwest has been the place to take your vehicle for everything from oil changes, engine and air conditioning repair, brake work, as well as fixing flats and tire rotation. Midwest uses only the best products and supplies to service your vehicle and to get it back on the road safely. They're conveniently located 1 block north of the Fireside Grill on Main Street in Sugar Grove. Stop in anytime or call ahead at 630-466-9644.
Welcome to Lombard, Illinois, home of the Montini Broncos. 5-time state champion, 2-time runner-up, perennial powerhouse, and they're playing every bit of the part here today, scoring at will. Tanner Robertson with his first kick return opportunity out across the 25-yard line.
And you see the difference there the wind makes. Every kickoff went for a touchback in the first quarter, and this ball makes it to the 15-yard line. So,
well, and the 15-yard difference, well, actually, field position-wise, it was 25. I thought it was 35. But, yeah, really a critical drive for the Knights here, even if nothing else, to pick up a first down or two. Marchuk, read option keeper for a couple.
Picks up 3, and that's, you know, if you can get 3 a play, you're going to move the chains. So
you are going to move the chains. I don't know if you're going to nullify a 35-point deficit, though.
Let's see what they do out of the bunch here. They go to the air.
Allstott on a flare pass out of the backfield. A textbook open field tackle there.
Wow, he really just drove his shoulder in there, lifted, used his legs. Pure form tackle there, Larry.
Jake Camp.
And that is how you coach it. I saw Allstott kind of bellying out of the backfield, and so did the DB. He read it like a book, and he was there. Third and a long 7 for the Knights. Really needing a first down conversion here. Marchuk, pump fake, and then hit as he just gets rid of it from the backside.
You know, I don't know, was that a pass or was that a fumble? Did he get it back in time? It'll be interesting to see where they spot this.
Brandon Andino put a lick on him.
Wow, he really did light him up. Didn't hear him coming, and really unprotected. That's a tough spot to put the quarterback in.
He'll be remembering that one tomorrow and for a day or two after that. Marchuk, I mean. He will be feeling it. Nice high punt, fielded, and the knee went down.
Actually, he signaled a fair catch a little prematurely, I think. He didn't realize how much room he had, but either way, sun right in his eyes, wind coming at him, makes it a little more indecisive when you're catching it.
Ryan O'Connor, just a sophomore, and you're right, he did have that hand up and had it up rather quickly, so makes me think he was instructed, go fair, catch that ball.
It appears that way.
Just don't make a mistake, right?
Well, back to that big turnover differential that Montini has to show. Option right. Blake keeps it, still on his feet. To the outside, the sideline.
Man, is he fast. He really lit it, turned on the afterburners running down the sideline there around the 40-yard line, and then eventually got knocked out.
You talk about getting into high gear. It was like just as he cleared that linebacker line into the secondary.
Yep, he turned him on.
And I think you got to think about what's going on in the heads of the Knights right now. Beyond the scoreboard and what they've been able to generate offensively, you've got your star player on the sidelines with an injury, too.
Yeah, at this point, the Knights are just trying, they're hoping to stop a drive. They've not been able to do that yet. Complete here on the near side. Makes a couple guys miss. Flag comes in late.
Looks like it might be a hold downfield.
An impressive run after the catch, but it will be nullified. Some sort of downfield blocking infraction.
I wonder if that flag came in after the ball carrier had passed him up or not. One of those things where once the runner is in front of you, you just want to back off and let go.
So after the shuffle there, Montini's looking at 1st and 15 from their own 36. Blake looks like he's setting up the screen across the middle, complete. That's Maher again, still on his feet. Great second effort there.
Yeah, he picked up another 2 yards after he was hit. I thought he was down at the 30 and gains another 2. So takes a 1st and 15, makes it 2nd and 7. That's doable.
Brian, you got to appreciate the second effort there, the hand of the ground, keeping it going.
Yeah, that's one of Coach Andriano's main calisthenics, as we'd call them back in the day. You put the one running hand touch. You had to do that various times during the practice.
Quick hitter off to the far side, really took a shot by a couple defenders. Broncos be looking at 3rd and short. That's pretty ingenious when you can take a conditioning aspect and turn it into something that results in a couple extra yards.
Yep, it always came in handy.
Fakes to the Prince, keeps it.
Wide open up the middle for the first down.
Well, we talked about that acceleration. He really just shoots at that hole pretty quickly.
And the Broncos have so many weapons, it's not like you can focus on 1 or 2 players.
A big spread here. Twins on each side here, and very few linemen in there. One guy in the backfield. Let's see what happens.
Receivers to the numbers on both sides. Looking left, little hitch pattern.
That skipped. Incomplete pass.
Kind of interesting to see Montini not hesitating going to the pass, even though into the wind and the sun. Seemed to be such a difficult task for the Knights in the first quarter. There's Prince, started on the right guard, bounces all the way to the far left side, still on his feet.
Great run up the sidelines, picks up a few. I think that's what you're going to be seeing a lot more often, though, is the ball on the ground and chewing up the clock.
Really impressed with the balance he showed as he's taking shots, below the waist, and he just kind of bounced off it and stayed, never lost his center of gravity.
No, he's an outstanding running back. He'll probably be in strong consideration for some postseason honors.
Third and 3 from the 12. Blake to the corner. Ho, ho, ho.
Great pass, great catch. Only the receiver could catch it. He grabbed the ball, was unable to keep his feet in bounds, though.
Boy, and he gave that an incredible effort, great concentration. And he towed the line.
This might feel a little bit like a moral victory for Kaneland right now, just holding them to a field goal.
And in the pregame, he was good from about another 10 yards from here, so.
High snap, they're going to have to run. Working the left edge, the ball is on the ground. Did he pick up the first down? We're going to have to see how they sort this one out.
Yeah, it looks here like he did get the first down and then fumbled out of bounds. at about the 9-8 yard line. So I'm thinking they might give him a first down here.
Oh, goodness. Wow. That seems all the breaks are going Montini's way today.
Everything's going your way. When the first time you're forced to face a fourth down, you're going for a field goal. High snap turns into 1st and goal.
That is, that's surprising.
Blake splits 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Prince shuffles in motion, jet sweep. Tackled for a loss, and a big loss.
Nice gang tackling by Kaneland there. Kept him in check. They were not going to let him get outside.
Almost looks to me like that was a play that the Knight defense had scouted and read it exactly.
Yeah, they looked like they smelled that one coming a little bit.
We've not seen the Knights with defensive line penetration like that all game. So now they're all the way back to the 14. They fake to Prince. Blake on the keep to about the 11-yard line. Late flag after an aggressive, I don't know if it's late hit or unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I'm guessing a little unsportsmanlike on that.
It's like they kind of manhandled him there at the end, but I don't know. Didn't seem that egregious.
Looks like they're calling it against the Broncos.
Well, that's why that's not against Kaneland, because it didn't seem like it should have been in the first place. So, yeah.
Happen to see Tyler Milliken making his way to the sideline. Might be what we call a teachable moment.
And Coach Andriano's having one of those with him. Little discussion.
Although, you know what? I think he was standing up for his quarterback there, because you heard the home fans really taking issue with a couple apparent late shots by the Knight defense. I think Milliken jumped in defense of his quarterback. Looks like they're setting up a screen, defended well by the Knights and hit hard. We call him the Baron Claw. The Claw out of the Knights secondary with their best hit of the day. Now here, actually into the wind, I think you're out of field goal range, are you not? What are you going to do here?
Yeah, I think this is a little further than he was kicking in pregame against the wind. So this will be an interesting call.
This will be
45
yard into the wind attempt. And we were talking about how the kicking game has improved over the years at the high school level.
Well, it won't be 45 anymore.
I'll still be impressed if he bangs a 40-yarder into this wind. Seems like it has let up a little.
Of course, when everything's going your way, the wind dies down when you get a kick into the wind.
But I actually applaud Montini for taking this attempt. This is really an element of your game that can make or break you in the playoffs. And you don't get these chances often. Strong enough!
No good.
It really looked like it was on its way.
It sure did. I thought that was through, but not the perfect angle here.
So that's the first stand of the Knights for the day. That's something to build on.
Oh, absolutely has to be a moral victory for the Knights. So now, see if the Kaneland offense can build off of that I will tell you this, they are explosive. Marchuk over the middle, batted. Montini.
This big fella.
He can move and he gets his arms up too. So
Very athletic for that big of a kid.
And that's good coaching there. They teach that. If you're not through to put pressure on, get your hands up.
a little different formation from Kaneland than we've seen today.
Mitchell Green in really a H-back or wing-back formation.
Is it a Wildcat?
Design play to run, and they brought Green in to block, and Allstott just had nowhere to go.
No, it's really plugged up in the middle there.
Marchuk fakes the give, rolls to the right. Intended for Tyler Paulson, in and out of his hands.
Maybe trying to do a little too much there, run after the catch.
He still would have had a ways to go to pick up the first down, but it really would have been a shot in the arm. Nonetheless, the Knights are forced to punt. See if he goes with the quick fair catch again. Knuckleball left will bounce and not be returned. So the Broncos will take over at their own 43.
The next time you go out, meet your friends at the Blackberry Bar and Grill on Route 47 and Main Street in Elburn. Enjoy our great Reuben sandwiches or fill up on one of our big belly buster burgers. We have daily food specials, a full-service bar, a great outdoor patio, and you can try your luck on our video slots and poker machines. Call us at 630-365-9740 or visit us on Facebook. And don't forget, we have a kids menu too.
4:35 left to play here in the second quarter in Montini. The Broncos lead by a score of 35-0. But the Broncos have been really offensive, scoring every time but once. Their last possession offensively. Just a number of weapons for the Broncos to use.
Nice solo tackle on that play. No gain.
Blake on the keep, running over would-be tacklers. Took a shot at the end. Be looking at 3rd and long. With all kinds of time, on the run to the right side, complete. Thomas Highland, big tight end.
Yeah, there's 7 Highlands of what his father is, and I played with George, his Uncle George, and know the family real well. They come big in the Highland family.
So the name is suitable or suiting. Blake complete on the far side. You know, it's interesting. You talk about, you know, the football family lineage, and I think that's just kind of a hallmark of a good program. We were talking about one before, Bobby Westerkamp, and then his son came through. We talked about the semifinal championship victories for the Broncos over Kaneland, well, Mr. Westerkamp was the sole, factor in both of those.
Yeah, he had a unbelievable game, Jordan Westerkamp, for the back then, and then also in that championship game, set state records, rewrote the record book, basically, them and Joliet Catholic that game back in, I think, 11.
And I believe he's still playing right now for Nebraska, right?
He is, and he went off and started as a freshman, virtually unheard of in the Big Ten. But yeah, and Jordan, I'll never forget it. It was Montini was down. They needed to score. It was at Kaneland. There was a long pass, and he was like a gazelle, just timed his jump perfectly, came down, danced through a defender into the end zone, and it was so effortless appearing.
And all that being one of the biggest kids on the team too. So.
Yeah, pure athleticism. So we're talking about the Highland and the Westerkamp families. Any other Montini football families that come to mind, Brian?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few out there. Well, the Borsalinos are a family that's put quite a few through in recent years, and they've been key players on the championship teams. There's people that have played that are now on the team. Their parents went here, and we're not getting to the point where their parents went here, but we're getting there. The school's only been around 50 years.
But they've only had 2 coaches throughout those 50 years?
2 coaches the entire time, yes. But looking at the roster here, I see sons of multiple people that I went to school with playing here. We have Dylan Maher. His dad Sean played here. I played with him. A couple other people have seen their share of time out there.
And Maher really shown himself to be one of those multiple weapons that Blake has the benefit of throwing the ball to. It's also good to see Tyler Milliken back in after his teachable moment. With time, steps up in the pocket, wide open over the middle. We just talked about him. Good thing he's back in, because he got open for a post pattern. Touchdown.
Wow. That was quite a throw and a catch. Wide open right down the middle, and great execution by the Broncos.
It looked like they thought it maybe was another cornerback draw up the middle. Maybe sucked in a little bit, and he was wide open for the catch.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Hammer. The safety bit on the quarterback, leaving the receiver, Milliken, wide open. And all is forgiven.
Yes. You never quite get all forgiven from Coach Andriano.
Especially in a film session. But
this will put the score at 42-0 with 3 seconds in the half. So
1:03 left to go.
Hi, I'm Russ Rue, owner of Duquesne Equipment Corporation, Big Rock, Illinois, located on US Route 30.
Duquesne has everything you need for the home, farm, and field, including Kubota RTVs for work and for play, Kubota zero-turn lawnmowers, steel trimmers and concrete saws. And when it snows this winter, you'll be ready by choosing from a wide variety of snow blowers in our showroom. Duquesne also has Kubota trackers with loader buckets, and for those really big jobs, the Kubota M Series.
Stop in anytime at Duquesne Equipment. We're located at US Route 30, Big Rock, Illinois.
Welcome back, high school football fans. Nothing like a Saturday afternoon high school playoff game here in Montini.
That's a live ball.
It is a live ball. You cannot go to sleep on those. Some people think that's like a punt. Not at all. That is what live ball. Whoever gets it, gets it.
Well, again, the wind showing its presence as a factor, pushed it away from the return man, bounced, and all of a sudden, some anxious moments if you're a Kaneland Knight fan.
Yeah, I think he thought that was going to carry to him a little bit and the wind knocked it down and dropped 4 or 5 yards in front of him.
So Tyler Milliken split the secondary on a textbook post pattern, extending the Montini lead to 42 points late here in the first half. And the clock will be running in the second half and should be academic from there throughout. Very impressive first half of football, practically flawless first half by the Montini Broncos.
Close too. A turnover here or there, and that's about it. They've really dominated.
Jake Marchuk, another textbook tackle defensively.
Open field, one-on-one, and a big hit. It's got to put a lot of question marks in the minds of the Knights right now.
Brandon Shilgalis credited with the textbook form. Third and very long for the Knights from their own 5-yard line, and they're just going to let the clock run out. So after one half of football, the Montini Broncos lead by a score of 42-0. Second half after this here on TV 17.
Remember when you were a kid? You liked getting dirty and building things? There were no limits. You could move mountains. The John Deere 1 Series subcompact tractor. The way grown-ups move mountains. And with AutoConnect implements, it's the easiest tractor to use yet.
Hi, I'm Dave Gieske from Buck Brothers. See these products in our complete lineup of John Deere equipment at our location at Route 20 and 47, Hampshire.
Get ready for the fall hunting season by stopping in at JR Shooting Sports.
Stay warm when you're out on the hunt by choosing from a wide assortment of hunting apparel. JR also has a huge selection of guns for the hunt, as well as sports optics. And don't forget to stock up on ammunition because JR Shooting Sports is your fall hunting headquarters.
We're located on Oakhurst Drive in Aurora. And visit us on the web and on Facebook.
Tanner Robertson from inside his 5. So although there's not the touchback, they're still going to have that same 20-yard line field position.
Yeah, at the 20.
17-yard return for Robertson.
So this really got to be a tough spot for the Knights to come out down 42. Clock will be running. And Montini really looked almost flawless in the first half, taking turnovers, converting them into scores, shutting down the Knight offense continually.
That's the thing, too. It wasn't just a matter of Montini doing things. It was a matter of Kaneland not being able to do anything either. So, and then you add on to that the fact that their heart and soul, Cray, their captain, is out and is on the sidelines now. It's an uphill battle, to say the least.
Just a similar expression for the Knights into the wind and sun in the first quarter as Montini scored repeatedly. Here, Marchuk at the quarterback keep up the middle.
David the Broncos, number 34, Cooper Hines.
An important third down here on the opening drive for the Knights. I'd be looking at a read option, and Marchuk keeps it. Hole opens up over the middle. Little misdirection in the backfield worked well for the Knights.
Yeah, nice play. That was the same play that on the other side of the field in the first half, Montini snuffed out, but in the meantime, this gets him a first down.
He faked.
Could have ran through that hole in the line there. Big.
He faked to the motion man and then to Allstott, and yeah, the middle of the defense parted like the Red Sea for him. Mitch Green on a drag over the middle.
Near first down across midfield, so some momentum going.
Looks like Kingland's made some adjustments at halftime, used the time well. Come out, march the ball down. early in the first drive here.
Marchuk still on his feet on the far sideline, cuts it back into the secondary. He's going to have a chance, and he will score.
Celebration for the fans on the other side.
I kept looking for a piece of laundry somewhere in the secondary, and almost like Marchuk was not even running full speed when he made his way into the end zone.
Yeah, that's a great effort though, and great cutback.
Just exactly what the doctor ordered for the Knights. Point after is good. 42-7, back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Nick Bumba with Nick's Furniture in Sugar Grove, where if you shop Nick's, you save money. I have quality furniture, exceptional value, and fast delivery. Right now, all of our living room and dining room sets are 50% off. Order now so your house looks beautiful for the holidays. My showroom is packed with top quality living room and dining room sets, all for 50% off our lowest prices. Nick's Furniture is located at 760 Heartland Drive in the business park across from Waubonsie Community College in Sugar Grove. Online at shopnicksfurniture.com. Shop Nick's, save money!
For more than 30 years, locally owned Kierhofer Sports has been the primary supplier of sports equipment for schools, teams, clubs, and organizations throughout northern Illinois. Both team and retail customers can browse around Kierhofer Sports' 5,000 square foot store on Aurora's west side to choose among dozens of selections of popular team and sporting apparel. There's always a wide selection of pro sports jerseys and hats, high school sweatshirts, shoes for any athletic event, and just about any sporting equipment you need, including a new rewards program. Kierhofer Sports has the items you need for gifts, the big game, or to root for your favorite team. For more information, check us out on Facebook.
The Kaneland Knights come out swinging, scoring on their opening drive. And now here the kickoff returned across the 25 to the near sideline. Pushed out of bounds about the 42.
Got to keep contained on the kickoff. Got to keep contained.
So at the break there, we were saying, you know, really what a testimony to the Knights to come out. It looked scripted, but they executed and scored. And Brian, you would think it was a little bit closer game than a 35-point margin by the reaction of the Montini coaching staff.
Oh yeah, they were screaming at their guys. They don't like any giving up anything. They're relentless. So God bless them. That's I guess why they're always in the conversation when it comes to state championships.
You certainly don't want your team to be flat. And we've got a new quarterback in. It's Bradley Norgel relieving Justin Blake here to start the second half. It's good to see other guys getting opportunities here in postseason action. We've also got Will Smith in.
Fresh Prince.
I'm going to have to guess just by the defensive pressure here by Kaneland that there's more than there's substitutions all across the board in the Montini side of the ball.
Well, it looks like the Knights, if nothing else, are playing for pride, and they're showing that they have some pride. So for one of the very few times here so far today, the Montini Broncos are looking at 3rd and long. To the air they go. The pass is complete. Picking up the first down. Jordan Byers.
I was going to say,
Bradley Norgel's brother, I'm guessing this with the same last name, played quarterback last year for the Broncos. There's an Augustana connection there. There's some Norgels that went to Augustana, FYI.
You love the football lineages, as we were talking before. Read option up the middle. Good leg drive there. Really running that ball with a lot of enthusiasm.
Gain of 5, and whether it's your starters or your backups, the good teams don't rebuild, they just reload, right?
That's well said. And yeah, to these guys, they're just getting their shot. They don't care what the score is. They're going to go out there and they're going to compete hard.
Yep, you'll see a lot of sophomores, even freshmen up on the team getting a chance to play in a big game for them. It's huge to be playing in this and get that experience so that, like you said, you reload.
Couple big hits there.
You got to love the running back delivering the blow there.
Yeah, he took one and he delivered. There's a lot of hitting going on that play.
And not only that, all the sophomores and freshmen who come up and allow you to get reps in during practice in the postseason. It's darker earlier now. You got to move things in, move things out. You know, these kids are out there working and they're in the cold weather for weeks at a time. You love to see them get on the field and actually see what it's like to be on the game field for postseason football.
Yeah, invaluable to get this postseason experience. A little confusion there in the backfield as shifted one time too many, and we'll move back for delay of game. Turning 3rd and 2 into 3rd and 7. To the air with time across the middle, complete. Fires again.
First down, and he looks very comfortable in that role, and he's got plenty of time too. He was sitting there with a lot of time. So,
giddy up, Bronco. Very composed as they let the clock run. And quarterback keep off the left guard, slashing through the secondary. Pickup of 7 and 8 yards. Give the reload analogy, but give credit to the big guys up front. They're just paving the way.
Yeah, that was nice, and he obviously knew that he had once that little gap was created at the line, he had a few yards to run in addition to that. So I'll take 7 or 8 on first down every time.
Read option, give up the middle.
And that's a first down.
Jake Karchevsky on the carry. So what kind of offense were the Broncos running back in the day when you were putting on the maroon and gold?
We mainly went with a passing offense, a pro passing offense, not too different than what they're doing now, but nowadays they have a whole different spread going on. A lot of different plays and trick plays and everything under the sun that you see out of Montini these days.
Were you running out of the shotgun at that point?
No, it was mainly under center.
Yeah, but passing oriented nonetheless.
Yeah, with Bob Westerkamp and John Karpowitz were the passing and quarterback, receiving a quarterback duo. Man, they were unbelievable.
They really were. But yeah, it's gone to a whole new level with the read option now, and the spread offense is really
a little bit of the wildcat mixed in too. So you see everything from Montini, and again, they're not afraid to run some unique trick plays that help them grab the momentum.
and see if Kaneland can make a stand here on about 3rd and 4.
Rather methodical drive for the Broncos as they've taken a much more deliberate approach, taking times between snaps, but still controlling the line of scrimmage. You're right, this is a big 3rd down. That's Karchevsky off the pitch. It's going to be all about the spot. I think he may be a little short.
Yeah, it looks like 4th and 1. And this will probably be the end of the quarter here.
I think with the play clock being what it is, they will have to snap it.
Sure, they do have to get one off here.
Norgel hands it off, and I don't know if he got it.
I think he was stopped.
Nice defense holds.
And that will conclude 3/4 of play. We'll turn it around with the Broncos leading by a score of 42-7, bringing the 4th quarter after this here on TV 17.
Hodges Westside Truck Center is the place to go if you need a work truck for your business. Hodges offers a wide variety of trucks to meet your needs, and we have 2 locations to serve you in Marengo and in Elburn, and that's where you can browse around and find the right truck for you. We also service what we sell. We have an excellent parts and customer service department, and we also have a complete workshop to make the repairs you need to keep your truck on the road. Our Elburn facility is located on Main Street just east of Route 47, and in Marengo you can find Westside Truck Center on Route 20 Grant Highway near I-90.
Welcome back to TV 17, 2nd round 2015 IHSA playoff action. Kaneland Knights forced to turn over on downs. Starting from their own 9-yard line, Marchuk with a nice run, picking up the 1st down. So Brian, can you give us a little flair of, the whole philosophy of the program the coach brings in even as it goes to scheduling?
Well, Coach Andriano has always stood with the idea that play very tough non-conference schedule, condition yourself for the season so that you're ready to hit the ground running when you're playing your conference, and that's kind of how he's made his game plan every year. Even back when we played some really tough schools, Providence, Springfield, Griffin, in our non-conference game that prepared us for the season. So it's always a hard preparation, hard teams that you play in the first few games, and you're ready to go. Playoffs don't seem so far out of the realm then.
It's impressive that you're not afraid to step up in class and size and take on a strong opponent, and even if they get a non-conference loss, they know that they can still win their conference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just conditioning yourself for the long haul.
Well, after a couple of effective runs by Marchuk, he's hit and tackled for a loss in the backfield there.
And it's at the 4th quarter here with the score as it is. Looks like Kaneland's going to punt here.
I would discretion the better part of valor.
Sure, I was going to say, I think.
Nice punt.
So the Broncos don't even drop anybody back, and that's going to bounce and roll all the way down to almost the 15.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to drop anybody back with the score as it is. You think maybe they got a little trick up their sleeve here. Maybe that's not a punt. So.
Well, and to drop somebody back who at best could fair catch the ball, could have saved them a few yards of field position. Keep it here as we work through the transition. Looking at the brackets.
Yeah, so the winner of this game is going to be playing the winner of the Deerfield DeKalb game, and that game is over. DeKalb final with a win 38-27. So DeKalb moves on, and the winner here will go to DeKalb, more than likely, to play.
And that'll be quarterfinal playoff football action. And yes, we've had the privilege of bringing two DeKalb broadcasts to you. And I tell you what, they're ranked number 5, but that's an impressive team. They've got a very effective running quarterback who, very similar to Justin Blake, executes the read option very well, but he's got 3 excellent receivers. A running back who reminds me of a high school Jerome Bettis, and a 6'7", 235-pound tight end who I think may be a D1 basketball prospect. So we're hoping that TV17 will bring you that quarterfinal matchup in DeKalb next week, and it will be a clash of titans. High snap fielded and kept by the quarterback after the fake there. He did a good job of just keeping that from going over his head.
And he picked up a few yards. Keeps the clock running, which it's already running. Again, it's a running clock here tonight. Second half.
So now the Broncos are looking at 3rd and about 4. And I would bet read option in some fashion or form here. So Knights shuffle around. Quarterback fakes, keeps off the right end, picks up the first down, and steps out of bounds. Boy, he ran that play with confidence.
Yes, he did. Good call on the read option, Larry. Called that one in advance.
And the linebacker bid on the fake, and the end was there for him. Picked up 5 like it was nothing.
We got Red Woody to go.
Again, they're just taking their time. Pressured here to the far side, stays on his feet. Jordan Byers on the carry. He shows good quickness.
Yeah, with 6.5, Montini's holding the ball. I think they're going to keep running that play clock is down as low as they can and run the ball wide side of the field.
Well, and Brian, you talk about the underclassmen out there getting their chance, and these are quality reps out there.
Oh yeah, because Kaneland has not given up. I mean, you know, they have a tough uphill climb here. It's not going to happen, but they are still playing their hearts out. So Montini's young guys are really getting some great game experience.
Pitch, sweep right. Byers again.
Fast. 54 is fast linebacker.
Knight defense doing a good job of stringing it out, and credit to Jacob Urban off his linebacker position, as you said, flattening out and stringing that one out for no gain.
More substitutions again on the Montini side of the ball.
3rd and a long 6. I'd be surprised to see a pass, but you never know. From the right hash, right up the middle, picks up the first down.
That was an amazing play. Very athletic by the quarterback, by the sophomore quarterback.
Not a gaping hole, but there was a hole for just a split second, and he hit it perfectly from a timing standpoint.
Had a linebacker who was shooting the whole way. He was sneaking up, and I think Norgel just got around him there, and then had a few more yards to go after that.
Well, I think he read the blitz and went to the other gap, and there it opened up. Just shot right through. You know, and you talk about substitutes across the line, but the line of scrimmage still owned by the Broncos, picking up 7 yards there. So I can't recall offhand, either you recall last year's championship game, Montini faced
Springfield
Sacred Heart Griffin.
Yeah.
There you go. And looking at the lower half of the bracket, Sacred Heart Griffin has got the 2 seed on the lower half. Lincoln Way North, the 1 seed. And then the number 3 spot is Lamont, the Bears. Not to look too far ahead.
Yeah, that Montini Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin rivalry in Week 14 has been there for 2 years. They both move up to Class 6A on the success factor, and so it's still in the cards right now, at least, that you could have a 6A championship with the same matchup.
That's it's a great observation, and don't you think that they're almost mirror images of each other? You've got like Sacred Heart Griffin, it's kind of a downstate version of Montini.
Very similar, yeah. Catholic schools and very strong football tradition and many sports tradition for both of them. And, you know, they mirror each other, and they've competed for many years, going back 30 years now.
It's the kind of thing that makes good rivalries. So yeah, it will be an interesting matchup out in DeKalb next week, and while we look forward to that, let me remind you to find us on Facebook, TV17 Outdoors. As a friend, we'll have the game in its entirety there, and you can also find it on YouTube. So we always like to chuckle when we've got the Kaneland games. We were pretty sure that Mike Allstadt's out there watching it via the web. He's always got a big fan following, especially as his nephew has continued to impress as a freshman starter. And they continue to pick up first down conversion.
Yes, they do. They just, that line seems to be imposing its will on the defense still, just moving where they would need to move.
So there's just going to be a couple more snaps of the ball, and you know, it's give credit up and down the line throughout the program. This is really a program complete win. You look at the dominance in every facet of the game they've had. Balance offensively, and Kaneland did muster an opening drive touchdown to start the second half, but other than that, the Bronco defense was pretty impressive as well. A couple turnovers that turned into points.
Yep, they've shut them down. There's no doubt about it.
I do like the way Kaneland came out with a little heart. It was obviously going to be an uphill battle, and they came out and played well offensively, got their best drive of the day, scored a touchdown, had a stop with their backs against the wall in defense. So, you know, they've got heart. They had a great season.
Yeah, and they've got a lot to be proud of, and to lose to Montini, there's no shame in that. Well, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure to be here with the both of you. We'll wrap it up and tell you that we will be in DeKalb next week, as Montini will look to march further into the playoffs. Brian and Kevin, I just want to say it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry, thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me, and let me know if I can help again.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll bid you farewell from Lombard as Montini emerges.